The moment you notice your heart racing, your thoughts spinning, your chest tightening with worry or fear, that very moment of awareness is already the beginning of your return. You don't have to fix yourself first. You don't have to understand everything that brought you to this edge. The simple act of noticing without judgment, without making yourself wrong for feeling what you feel, opens the door back to the calm that has been waiting for you all along. This calm is not something you lost. It never left. It has been underneath everything, patient and constant, like bedrock beneath turbulent water. And love, that deep, unconditional love that you are made of, it hasn't gone anywhere either. It is here, now, in this breath, in this moment, ready to receive you exactly as you are. We have been taught to think of calm as something we must achieve, something we earn after we've worked hard enough, fixed enough problems, or gotten everything under control. We imagine that once our lives are finally in order, once we've solved all the challenges, then we'll be allowed to feel peaceful, then we'll be worthy of love. But this is backwards, my dear. Calm is your natural state. Love is what you are made of. When you were born, before the world taught you to worry, before you learned to doubt yourself, you knew this. Your body knew how to rest. Your heart knew how to trust. Somewhere along the way, life became complicated. Responsibilities grew. Disappointments accumulated. Fear learned how to whisper convincingly in your ear. And slowly, without even realizing it, you began to believe that peace was something far away, something you had to journey toward, something you might never actually reach. But the truth is simpler and more beautiful than that. Calm is not ahead of you, it is within you. And every single time you felt lost or overwhelmed, you've always had the ability to return. Your body remembers what your mind sometimes forgets. Right now, as you hear these words, your body is here, breathing, holding you, keeping you alive without any effort from your conscious mind. Your heart is beating. Your lungs are filling and releasing. Your body has never stopped taking care of you, even when you stopped paying attention to it. This beautiful vessel that carries you through life holds a wisdom older than your worries, deeper than your fears. When your thoughts are racing and you cannot find solid ground, come back to your body, not to judge it, not to criticize its shape or its sensations, but simply to notice it, to feel the weight of your feet on the floor or your body in the chair, to sense the temperature of the air on your skin, to find your breath wherever it is right now, shallow or deep, fast or slow, and simply be with it. Your body is your first home. Before you had a house, before you had relationships, before you had a job or a bank account or a reputation to maintain, you had this body, and it has always been a doorway back to calm. Place your hand on your heart if you feel moved to do so. Feel the warmth there. Feel the gentle rise and fall. This is real. This is happening right now. Your mind might be in tomorrow, rehearsing conversations that haven't happened yet, or stuck in yesterday, replaying moments you wish you could change. But your body is only ever here, in this present moment. And in this present moment, you are safe. You are breathing. You are alive. The body holds memory, yes. It remembers past hurts, past dangers, but it also holds the memory of every time you've returned to calm before, every time you've survived something difficult, every time you've made it through. Your body knows the way home. Trust it. Listen to it. When your shoulders are tight, they are trying to tell you something. When your jaw is clenched, when your stomach is in knots, these are not enemies to fight against. These are messengers. They are saying, come back to this moment, come back to gentleness, come back to love. There is a part of you that wants so desperately to control everything, to make sure nothing goes wrong, to prevent any possible pain or disappointment. This part works so hard. It plans and analyzes and prepares for every scenario. It believes that if it can just think of everything, anticipate everything, manage everything, then you'll finally be safe. And while this part means well, it truly does, it's trying to protect you. Its efforts often create the very turbulence you're trying to escape. The tighter you grip, the more anxious you become. The harder you try to force calm, the further away it seems to drift. This is one of life's great paradoxes. Control pushes peace away. Effort can exhaust you. The trying itself becomes the obstacle. What if, just for this moment, you experimented with letting go of the need to manage everything, not forever, not in some grand dramatic way, but just right now, for the length of a few breaths? What if you allowed this moment to be exactly as it is, without needing to fix it or improve it or make it different? When you stop fighting against what is, something miraculous happens. The energy you've been using to resist, to control, to force, that energy becomes available for something else. It becomes available for presence, for awareness, for compassion. You begin to notice that you can feel afraid and still be okay. You can feel uncertain and still be held. You cannot know what's going to happen next and still be loved. The storm of your thoughts doesn't have to stop completely for you to find your center. You can be in the middle of challenging circumstances and still touch the place inside you that is calm. This is not about pretending everything is fine when it isn't. It's not about forcing positive thoughts or bypassing your real feelings. It's about discovering that you are larger than any single emotion, any single thought, any single circumstance. Beneath the waves, the ocean is still. Beneath your worry, your essence is peace. Love is always here, underneath everything. It is not something you have to become good enough to deserve. It is not something you earn through perfect behavior or positive thinking or spiritual achievement. Love is the ground of your being. It is what you are made of, what you've always been made of, even in your darkest moments, even when you couldn't feel it, even when you were convinced you were unlovable. The love I'm speaking of is not the conditional love you may have learned about, the love that comes when you're successful, when you're attractive, when you're pleasing others, when you're doing everything right. That kind of love is exhausting to chase, impossible to maintain. No, the love that is your essence requires nothing from you. It doesn't need you to be Kali, before it will show up. It doesn't need you to have your life together. It doesn't need you to be healed or whole or enlightened. It is here now, loving you now, exactly as you are in this moment. When you return to calm, you're actually returning to love. They are not separate. Calm is simply what it feels like to rest in love, to know in your body and bones that you are held, that you are safe, that you belong, that you matter. Even your anxiety, even your fear, even your anger, these are not obstacles to love. They are parts of you that need love. They are the frightened children within you calling out for attention, for reassurance, for the gentle reminder that they don't have to be in charge anymore. You, the aware presence reading these words, You are the adult now. You are the one who can offer love to all the parts of yourself that are hurting, that are scared, that are trying so hard to keep you safe in the only ways they know how. This is the practice. This is the return. Meeting yourself, all of yourself, with love. Everything you feel is information. Your emotions are not random weather patterns that attack you without reason. They are intelligent responses to your experience, to your thoughts, to the stories you're telling yourself about what's happening in your life. When anxiety rises, it's often because you're looking at the future and imagining threat. When sadness comes, it's often because you're looking at the past and grieving loss. When anger appears, it's often because a boundary has been crossed or a need has gone unmet. These emotions are not your enemies. They are messengers trying to get your attention, trying to show you something important. The problem is not that you feel them. The problem is that you've been taught to make feeling them mean something terrible about you. You've learned to interpret anxiety as evidence that something is wrong with you. You've learned to see sadness as weakness. You've learned to suppress anger because it's not acceptable. And so instead of listening to these feelings, you try to get rid of them as quickly as possible. But what if you could meet your emotions differently? What if, when anxiety comes, instead of spiraling into panic about the panic, you could pause and ask, "What are you trying to tell me? What do you need?" Often, anxiety is asking you to slow down, to come back to the present, to stop rehearsing disasters that haven't happened. Sadness might be asking you to grieve, to let yourself feel the loss, to be gentle with your tender heart. Anger might be asking you to honor yourself, to speak up, to stop abandoning your own needs in service of keeping everyone else comfortable. When you listen to your emotions with compassion rather than judgment, they begin to soften. They don't have to scream so loudly to get your attention. You can feel what you feel and still return to calm because the calm is big enough to hold it all. Love is spacious enough to include every human emotion. You don't have to wait until you feel peaceful to access peace. You don't have to feel loving to be held by love. The thoughts in your mind are powerful, but they are not facts. They are stories, interpretations, meanings you've assigned to events. And many of these stories were written a long time ago by a younger version of you who was doing the best they could with the information they had. These stories might sound like, "I'm too much," "I'm not enough," "Something is wrong with me," "I can't trust anyone," "The world isn't safe," "I have to do everything perfectly or I'll fail." If people really knew me, they'd leave. These narratives run quietly in the background of your consciousness, shaping how you see yourself and how you move through the world. They create the lens through which you interpret every experience. And when you're caught in these stories, when you believe them completely, they generate enormous amounts of emotional turbulence. They keep you spinning, searching for evidence, trying to prove or disprove them, defending against them, or resigned to them. Returning to calm means beginning to notice these stories without being completely consumed by them. It means creating just a little bit of space between you, the aware presence, and the thoughts moving through your mind. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who notices the thoughts. This might sound like a small distinction, but it changes everything. When a thought says, "I'll never get this right," and you believe that thought completely, you are lost in the story. But when you can notice, "Oh, there's the thought that I'll never get this right," suddenly you have options. You can ask, "Is this absolutely true? Is this useful? Is this the story I want to keep telling?" You don't have to fight with the thought or force it away. Simply seeing it as a thought rather than as truth begins to loosen its grip. The story loses some of its power. And in that space, that small gap of awareness, calm begins to filter back in. Love begins to speak. And love's voice sounds very different from fear's voice. Love says, you're learning. Love says, you're doing the best you can. Love says, you are so much more than this one moment, this one mistake, this one fear. You don't have to wait for a vacation or a weekend or retirement to return to calm. You don't have to wait until your to-do list is finished or your problems are solved. Calm is not a luxury reserved for when everything is perfect. It is available to you right now in tiny moments throughout your day if you practice returning. This is what I mean by micro-returns. These are small, simple acts that bring you back to your center, back to your breath, back to love. When you're at your desk and you notice your shoulders are up by your ears, you can pause just for 3 seconds and let them drop. You can take one full breath. This is a return. When you're in a difficult conversation and you feel yourself beginning to spin, you can feel your feet on the ground. You can touch your own hand. You can silently say, I am here. I am safe. This is a return. When you're lying in bed at night and your mind is racing through tomorrow's worries, you can place your hand on your heart and feel it beating. You can whisper, I love you, I've got you, we're okay. This is a return. These moments may seem too small to matter, but they are everything. They are training your nervous system to recognize calm as home. They are reminding your body that it knows how to release, how to soften, how to trust. Each time you return, even for a moment, you are strengthening a pathway. You are building a capacity. You are teaching yourself that you can be in the middle of a busy, complicated, sometimes overwhelming life and still touch peace. You can be imperfect and still be loved. You can be uncertain and still be held. The practice is not about being calm all the time. It's about knowing how to find your way back when you've drifted. It's about being kind to yourself in the moments when you forget. It's about understanding that returning to calm is not a destination you reach once and stay at forever. It's a practice, a rhythm, a coming home again and again, as many times as you need to for the rest of your life. There is a lie that many of us have been living by, perhaps without even knowing it. The lie says that rest is something you earn after you've worked hard enough, that peace is a reward for being productive, that love is something you deserve only when you've proven your worth through achievement, through service, through being enough for others. This lie keeps you running on empty, pushing through exhaustion, overriding your body's signals, ignoring your needs, saying yes when you mean no, giving and giving and giving until there's nothing left. And then, when you finally collapse, when your body forces you to stop through illness or breakdown or sheer depletion, you feel guilty about that too. You feel like you're failing, like you should be able to keep going, like rest is self-indulgent or lazy or a sign of weakness. But listen to me carefully because this is important. You do not have to earn the right to rest. You do not have to prove yourself worthy of calm. You do not have to achieve some standard of goodness or productivity or perfection before you're allowed to be held by love. Resting in love is your birthright. You were born worthy. You were born deserving of care, of gentleness, of peace. A baby doesn't have to do anything to deserve being held. A flower doesn't have to earn the right to bloom. The sun doesn't have to justify its warmth. And you don't have to justify your existence, your needs, your humanity. When you rest, you are not being unproductive. You are allowing your system to restore itself. When you choose calm over chaos, you are not being selfish. You are honoring the truth that you cannot give from an empty well. When you say no to what depletes you, you are not being difficult. You are finally being honest. There is a deep worthiness in you that has nothing to do with what you accomplish, how you look, what you achieve, or how useful you are. To others, this worthiness is intrinsic. It came with you. It is the foundation of your being. And when you return to calm, when you choose to rest in love, you are simply acknowledging what has always been true. You are not meant to do this alone. One of the most powerful ways to return to calm is to let yourself be supported, to soften enough to receive help, to remember that you are part of a larger whole. We live in a culture that celebrates independence and self-sufficiency, that tells us we should be able to handle everything on our own, that needing others is somehow a sign of weakness. But this is another lie that keeps you isolated, that keeps you carrying burdens that were meant to be shared. You are part of the earth. You are held by gravity. You are breathing air that has been breathed by billions of beings before you. You are connected to everything, whether you remember it or not. When you're overwhelmed and you step outside and feel the sun on your face or the wind on your skin, you are being reminded that you are not separate. When you reach out to a friend and tell the truth about how you're really feeling, and they listen without trying to fix you, you are being held. When you allow someone to help you with a task you've been struggling with alone, you are practicing trust. The universe itself is supporting you, always. Not in some abstract, distant way, but in immediate, tangible ways. Your breath is a gift you didn't have to create. Your heart is beating without your conscious effort. The earth is holding you up right now. The intelligence that orchestrates the seasons, that turns acorns into oak trees, that heals your cuts without any instruction from you. This same intelligence is available to you in your moments of overwhelm. Sometimes returning to calm means admitting, I can't do this alone. I need help. Sometimes it means sitting in nature and letting yourself be held by something bigger. Sometimes it means praying or meditating or simply getting quiet enough to feel the presence of love that surrounds you always. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to figure everything out by yourself. You can ask for support from friends, from professionals, from nature, from the universe, from your own deeper wisdom. Opening to receive is not weakness. It is courage. It is trust. It is the recognition that love flows through connection, through relationship, through allowing yourself to be part of the web of life rather than a solitary island fighting to survive alone. As we come to the close of our time together, I want you to know something. Every single time you return to calm, every time you choose love over fear, every time you meet yourself with gentleness instead of judgment, you are not just changing your own experience. You are changing the world. The peace you cultivate within yourself ripples out. The love you offer to your own tender heart teaches others that they too can be gentle with themselves. The calm you find becomes a refuge not only for you, but for everyone you encounter. When you are grounded in love, you naturally offer that groundedness to others. When you are resting in calm, your presence becomes a balm to those around you who are still spinning in the storm. This is not about being perfect. This is not about never feeling anxious or upset or afraid. This is about building a relationship with yourself that is rooted in compassion, that honors your humanity, that remembers again and again that you are worthy of love exactly as you are. Every return strengthens this relationship. Every moment of choosing calm over chaos reinforces the neural pathways of peace. Every time you place your hand on your heart and say, I am here, I am safe, I am loved, you are rewiring your system to know safety as its natural state. Living from the center of calm, rooted in love, becomes the foundation for everything else you do. From this place, your decisions are clearer, your relationships are more authentic, your creativity flows more freely, your capacity to be present with others deepens. You stop living in reaction and start living in response. You stop abandoning yourself in order to please others. You stop pushing through exhaustion as if it were a badge of honor. You begin to move through your life with a different quality, not rushed, not desperate, not constantly braced against the next problem. Instead, you move with a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are held, you are guided, you are loved, even when things are difficult, even when you don't understand what's happening, even when you're scared. The calm is still there underneath. The love is still there, foundational, and you know how to return. You've practiced it. You've made the journey home to yourself 1,000 times, and you can do it again right now with this very breath. So breathe, feel your body. Notice where you are right now. This moment, just as it is the doorway. You don't have to wait. You don't have to become anything other than what you are. Simply notice the aliveness in you, the awareness that is reading these words, the presence that has been here all along, underneath the noise, underneath the worry, underneath the stories. That presence is you. That is who you really are, and it is made of calm. It is made of love. Welcome yourself home. Again and again, for the rest of your days, welcome yourself home, to this breath, to this body, to this moment, to the peace that has been waiting for you all along. You are safe, you are held, you are deeply, endlessly, unconditionally loved. And from this place, from this center, you can meet whatever comes with grace, with wisdom, with the kind of gentle strength that only love can give. Return to calm, return to love. This is your practice, this is your path, this is your birthright, and it is always, always available to you right here, right now, in this sacred moment of now.